Hello and welcome. It's another graphic novel review by me, Andrew Ace. You can find me online at UYS999. As you can tell, I'm here. Big love for Team Captain America, Team Cap, for Captain America Civil War, and I thought that this new comic book day, I'd review a few of my favorite Captain America graphic novels. As you can tell, he's my guy. When I came to Canada, you'd think well, there was a Captain Canada, or Captain Canuck, and I totally dig him, but Captain America was the hero that I gravitated towards. And part of that was, yes, he has the super soldier serum, but he is a human being. He doesn't have any superpowers. He's just us at our peak, at our perfection. And in that way, too, he's also us at our perfect ideals, if you would, the American dream, or the idea of liberty, freedom, justice for all, transcending just one nation, and that was Captain America for me. So, with that in mind, I will start with my favorite Captain America stories up over here, and the first one I've talked about before, it's Ed Brubaker, Steve Epting, sorry. Ed Brubaker is the writer, Steve Epting is the artist. This is Captain America Winter Soldier. So this came out mid-2000s and really relaunched the character in a way. He had certainly been faltering for a little bit in terms of sales, I would say in terms of popularity as well. And this brought the character back in a big, big way. Part of it was certainly that Ed Brubaker took a darker tone with the character. I personally have always been a big fan of Captain America doesn't kill. The rationale, for me at least, was he did kill in World War II, and now as a superhero, he doesn't because he knows he can resolve conflict without death. At least he believes that as an ideal because he believes he, as a superhero, should be more than just a hero, and that is to say that he doesn't take life. Now, that time has come and passed. And these days you have a Captain America who does kill, maybe not quite still a Wolverine or a Punisher type character, but certainly this book brought more of his espionage to the fore, more of that kind of dark, shadowy world that he certainly inhabited in his early days when working a lot with S.H.I.E.L.D., Nick Fury, Agent Carter, Agent 13, however, you go back and who and where and what the storylines, but I mean, you think of some of those early issues, Captain America by Steranko, even before it was Captain America issue 100, Tales of Suspense, and in there, you see him fighting alongside or working with S.H.I.E.L.D. Certainly the character has had a long-standing relationship with the military-industrial complex, and this, again, like I said, Ed Brubaker went back, drew upon a number of threads that had always existed in Captain America, and made an absolutely beautiful piece of work. So, obviously, again, you should never discount the efforts and the contributions of the artist. And I won't lie, I hadn't really, obviously I had read and seen Steve Epting prior to this, but it was his work on this title that really, made him an artist that I now follow, no matter what book he's on. And the other great thing, obviously, Winter Soldier. This is the storyline that saw the return of Bucky. Bucky Barnes, former partner of Captain America, died at the end of World War II, one of the long-standing Marvel deaths, along with Uncle Ben. This brought huge fan criticism, and yet now, 10 plus years later, Bucky Barnes, Winter Soldier's favorite character of many. This is, as I was saying, one of the Captain America books to read, and of course, the character Winter Soldier has evolved and exists in the movies, and has already come back to life in the movies. So I think that character has really been reinvigorated, and it was, interesting, or it gave Captain America a sense of greater emotional depth, because he was always pining for the loss of his partner. He's always critical of himself, in a way, everyone else sees him as this totally confident hero, and yet he is plagued by these doubts, especially when it comes to partnering with people, and yet that's, I think was played out. I think 40, 50 years, even I as a reader, who had only started reading him in the late 80s, was sort of like, okay, but, by this point you think he's had done enough successful missions since being returned from the Arctic, from the ice, that this wouldn't cause him so much self-doubt anymore. And I think Brubaker certainly propelled the character forward, gave him new concerns, questionings, motivations in a way, while still staying very true to the character. So, long discussion, and if you go back through my vlogs, you'll find I've already done one on Ed Brubaker, just talking about his own writing and his other comic book works, so check that out. But Captain America, the Winter Soldier, really the whole Ed Brubaker run, which of course is what brings me to the next book in his series, or his contribution to Captain America, which was The Death of Captain America. This volume is, I want to say volume 5 in his run originally, but I believe that they've done a collected Winter Soldier, volume 1 and 2. I'm not sure about the Red Menace, but, and there might even be one I'm leaving out. Actually, so yeah, Civil War. So this is the 6th volume in his run, and obviously I don't want to give away too much, but at the same time, I mean, this isn't exactly spoiler territory. So, you know, we have The Death of Captain America, which I am wondering, will this be part of the Civil War storyline? Will this be how the Captain America Civil War movie that's going to air very soon is going to end? I don't know. You know, iconic image, Sharon Carter, Agent 13, comforting Steve Rogers, Captain America, on the steps of a courthouse where he's being shot. I won't say who did it, though he is certainly in the new movie, and this then led to the storyline where Bucky Barnes actually puts on the uniform. I know these days we have Sam Wilson, but Captain America, the uniform, has been worn by a number of characters over the years. One of my personal favorites was, though, Bucky Barnes. I wasn't sure I always loved, though. I mean, to knock Alex Ross's art is insane. But I don't know that he was the one who necessarily even crafted the new uniform, just simply that I saw his variant covers first, so I very much associated with his artwork. It was a little shiny, maybe, for my taste, but you know what? The storyline was great. I love how Epting, Mike Perkins, Butch Weiss, I believe, was one of the ones who worked on him, on the series during the time. They all did a phenomenal job, and certainly some of that shininess in a way to the variant covers and the cover art didn't come through as much, because this is a character who's running around in the shadows, in the dark, working with Black Widow, and really, I didn't find any of that actually in the interior in the stories. I just remember sort of thinking it when I saw the the original cover art. So, apart from digressing, this is another book that I would definitely recommend, especially given, well, the death of Captain America, sorry, the movie, The Civil War, and that this spun out of the Civil War series originally. This was going to even maybe be in issue 7, I believe, but Ed Brubaker and Mark Millar talked, and it got bumped into the Captain America series, issue number 25, and moved forward from there. So, another great book to read, The Death of Captain America, Ed Brubaker, Steve McNiven, Mike Perkins. So, I'm just going to take a break for a moment before I come back, and like I said before, Team Cap all the way. Find me online, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. I'm at UYS999. I always love comments and questions. I try to get back and answer them as fast as possible. So if there's any books I haven't covered or characters you're interested in, please let me know, and I'll do what I can to help. Cheers.